Hello and welcome to our reviews. Today we'll be reviewing the D-Arts Charizard, or Lizardon, depending upon what country you're from. I'll be referring to him as Charizard, as I am from the Americas. So, yes, I already reviewed the D-Arts Mewtwo, and in terms of articulation and detail and everything like that, Charizard is equivalent. Of course, he's not as awesome of a character, and just as a figure, he's not quite as impressive because of being a different shape. He can't really have the same amount of articulation and everything. But they did about as good as I can imagine them doing with something like Charizard. He, of course, also comes with a base and comes with a big fireball-like accessory. So, yeah, let's go ahead and zoom in for all those sorts of things. Alright, starting off with a quick size comparison, you can see Mewtwo and Charizard right here. In terms of, like, legitimate Pokedex-accurate scale, Mewtwo should be, like, exactly 1 foot taller than Charizard, and while he is taller than Charizard, Charizard's still a bit taller than he needs to be. But I'm glad they didn't just make Charizard taller just because he's like a dragon thing. Mewtwo is legitimately taller than Charizard whenever it comes to data. So that is a good thing. Now let's just look at Charizard by himself. Alright, here we have Charizard. As you can see, he has a fairly impressive wingspan. Blue on the inside, and he even has a bit of shading on it, which is cool looking. Points here up at the top. Got his head up here, which we'll zoom in for some more detail on in a minute. Orange pretty much everywhere else. There might be some light shading, but not a lot of detail in there. He's got his hands down here, which have 3 white-tipped claws on them. He got his underbelly here, which is a shade of yellow. He has foot claws down there at the bottom. And on the bottom of his feet are painted, which is cool. If you flip him around here on the back, you can see the back of his wings, which have a bit more evident paint shading. And you can see his tail fire, which is cool and transparent, and it just has a very nice effect to it. Considering the style of characters that things from Pokemon are, I'm not sure that it wouldn't have looked better painted, as it would have fit the aesthetic a bit more, but it doesn't look bad, and it still looks pretty cool. Now let's zoom in on the head really quick. Looking at Charizard's head really quick, you can see the very nice detailing on the eyes. You can even see he's got like some little notches here at the end of his horns and next to the face there. You can see his teeth. You can see his nostrils there at the front of his mouth, and if you open up the mouth, you can see the tongue on the inside there, as well as the black coloration of the inside of the mouth. So that is all very nice, accurate detail on the head sculpt of Charizard. Once again, very nice looking eyes like they did on Mewtwo, and it's probably the most detailed part of the figure is in the eyes. So let's zoom out and look at some articulation. Articulation-wise, Charizard is done very well. He has a very nice ball joint here at the top of the neck, which lets his head go pretty much all the way up and all the way down. He has a jaw joint, which opens up that far, and his tongue is actually articulated. It will wag side to side a little bit, and it'll lift up just a tiny bit to add a bit more effect if you have his mouth open. So let's close that. He has 2 more joints in the neck, which are fairly mobile little ball joints, one in the middle and one down there at the base. They all move very well. You can get him in some nice flying poses and things like that. He has several joints in the wings, very similar to the Rodan that I reviewed recently. Hinge there, and they're balled into the back here, where they can rotate and spin around and things of that nature. He has pretty much nothing in the body. Shoulders here on little ball joints, in and out, forward and back, rotate, bicep cut, single joint elbows that also rotate, and tiny little ball joints in the hands there. His hips are on similar kind of joints. They'll move in and out. They'll flex in and out a little bit like that. They're still kind of stiff to keep the sculpt nice. The knees will bend in and out a little bit, but they're not incredibly mobile. And the feet hinge in and out, and they'll pivot a little bit, and they will rotate. Now if you move on to the tail, it is very similar to Mewtwo's, in that it is just filled with joints, and you can put it just about in any way that you want, and it'll pop off like that if you move it a bit too far, but it'll peg right back in there. So you can get it tilted back, and it just moves at all these different points here. So that is very good. And I believe that that is all of Charizard's articulation, and he is articulated very well. You can pretty much pose him however something of this design would be able to be posed. So let's look at his accessories and his stand. Charizard comes with this very nice fireball effect, which is very similar to the tail. It's transparent and yellow and red. Pretty cool looking, and has some very nice sculpt work to it and things like that. And it has a tiny little hole on the bottom to be pegged into the flight stand, which I will show you now. Now Charizard comes with a stand that is essentially the same as Mewtwo's, as well as a lot of other Bandai things. It comes with only one arm, though, which is a big kind of issue, because could use like an arm for Charizard and an arm for the Blast, but now you kind of have to pick between the two. Luckily, I do have lots of extra arms, so I can do it, but it does not come with the things to do it with. So it comes with a one of those little clamps here, which you could use to hold up Charizard, although he is a bit heavy, so it might be a bit difficult to get him to hold up very well. Or you can take this off, and you can peg the Fireball onto that peg right there. And of course, it has the big Pokeball-looking base there, which has 4 holes for additional arms, or for just putting this particular arm wherever you want it to go. So that is pretty cool. Now let's look onto the packaging. Now Charizard's packaging is much bigger than Mewtwo's. While he is shorter, he has a lot more girth to him, with the extra wings and the tail being a lot longer and bulkier. So the box is quite bigger. You can see Charizard in here whenever he's there. You have the arts along the side, Pokemon. It does say Lizardon everywhere on the box. Very nice gray picture of Charizard here on the side there. Flip it over on the top. Big window, Charizard, Lizardon, little logo like Charizard there. On the side, you get like continuation of Charizard, little hologram Charizard there, and the arts. If you flip it over on the other side, you have another one of those like comma little shaped windows there, as well as the continuation of the front window, another hologram of Charizard, and the arts. On the back, lots of posing options for the figures. Like I said, the stand, not really able to hold up Charizard all that well, I don't think, although if you had maybe 2 arms, you could probably do it pretty well. I don't know, maybe some of you are better at posing things than I am. And he only comes with 1 arm, so you won't be able to do that with what's included. But anyway, it shows you a pretty good bit of how you could pose him and everything that he comes with, as well as some Japanese things that I cannot read. So yeah, overall, very nice box. I really like the design of these boxes, and I think they actually make pretty good display pieces, but I have been displaying them out of package as they're cool either way. So yeah, Charizard. Alright, that's our episode for Charizard, so until next time, goodbye! Hello, you've just watched one of my videos. Feel free to like and comment and subscribe and all those sorts of things if you enjoyed my video. If you didn't, run away and never return. Also, feel free to check out my other channels, Venom Raptor for all my variety gaming content, and VR Reviews for reviews of various action figures and collectibles. Thank you, and goodbye.